On this video, I'm going to show you how to prorate interest on an assumed mortgage. This is not something we see all the time on the Florida Real Estate Sales Associate exam, but recently my students have been telling me that it's on there. I'm Climer from Orlando, Florida. I've been teaching real estate pre-licensing classes since 2003. Keep watching and I'll show you the math problem that is similar to something you might see on the Florida Sales Associate state exam. The buyer is assuming the $46,000 mortgage from the seller. The annual interest rate is 11%. If they're closing on June 25th and the day of closing belongs to the buyer, how does it appear on the closing disclosure? Use the 365-day method. So here's what's going on. The buyer is taking over the seller's mortgage. He's assuming the mortgage. Interest is paid in arrears, which means you pay after it happens. So on July 1st, the buyer is going to make a mortgage payment, and that's going to include the principal for July, but the interest for June. So today, June 25th, the day of closing, the seller is going to pay the interest to the buyer so that on July 1st, the buyer has the money and he can make his payment. So we just have to figure out how much the seller owes to the buyer. So here's what we're going to do. The $46,000 mortgage times 11%. And that's going to give us $5,060. That's the annual interest. But we need to know the daily interest. It says use the 365-day method. So we're going to divide by 365 days in the year. And that's going to give us 13.863013. Just keep that number in your calculator. Then we need to figure out how many days the seller owes. So if we take June, this is June 1st, there's 30 days in June. You need to know how many days are in each month. There are 30 days in June, and we're closing on the 25th. So the first part of the month belongs to the seller. The second part of the month belongs to the buyer. Now the 25th, it could belong to the seller or the buyer. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's good and bad both ways. But in this question, it says that it belongs to the buyer, so it's on this side. So the seller owns 1 through 24, and the buyer owns 25 through 30. So the seller has 24 days. So we're going to come back over here, times 24 days, and that gives us $332.71. And that's money that the seller is giving to the buyer. So it's a debit to the seller, credit to the buyer. So on this question, the answer is C, $332.71, debit to the seller, credit to the buyer. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you need any further assistance or want to talk about how to get started in real estate, please give me a call. I'd be happy to help you.